Namaste, namaste, and welcome to this Monday morning warm up. So, I thought I would share with you what I do when I come to the mat. So, on a Monday morning, I teach back to back Zoom classes and one to ones in the afternoon. And this is how I start my day. So, I'm going to start with my feet nice and wide apart, a little softness in the knees, and then just doing Kati Chakrasana, the Ragdoll. It's one of my favorite things to do with my body because it is so good at releasing tension from the posterior chain, the back of the body, and particularly that tension that sits around the neck and shoulders at the top of the back. So you keep your arms and shoulders nice and relaxed, nice and loose. Just let the arms wrap around the body and the hands can tap wherever they fall. You can move your hands a little bit higher up if you like, or you can keep them low down, whatever suits your shoulders. When you've done a few rounds of twisting from side to side, you might like to add a little pivot of the toes, lifting one heel as you turn away from it. Or if you prefer, you can pivot towards your bent knee, and you can do a little bit of both if you like. I prefer pivoting away, but both are good. It's nice to be able to change between the two without falling over or having trouble with coordination. To warm the larger muscle groups, we can bend the knees in the center, little bounce and twist, bounce and twist. You might need to slow your movement slightly down to be able to do all of those things in each phase of movement. And then to begin to warm up the shoulders, I like to take this into a sideways motion. So reaching across the body, just letting the arms come down in front, pointing the opposite toe away. And as the arms get used to this new movement, you can begin to move them a little bit higher up. So they come either side of the head, not in front of the face. And then that toe that's stepping out to the side, you can step that a little bit backwards. And then this becomes more of a back bending motion. It'll soften the knees in the center. And then if you wish to, you can float the back foot off the floor. That's just something you might like to add. You don't have to. Requires a little bit more balance. We'll do one more to each side. And then just bring your feet to steadiness and sway back to center, losing the momentum a little at a time, and then find stillness. So standing tall, maybe spinning the palms forward, dropping the shoulders down, closing your eyes or gazing gently downward. Observe the effect of your practice, which hopefully would be an increase in breath rate and heart rate and sense of energy within the body. A couple of deeper breaths, finding some stillness. And just take note of how your body feels in this moment. If there are any areas of sort of aches and pains or stiffness or tension, working gently with those areas during the practice. And then notice at least one part of the body that feels peaceful, soft, spacious, and at ease. And allow that sense of ease to ripple out from wherever it is in the body, creating that sensation throughout more of the body. Just that sense of spacious ease. And then when you're ready, you can bring your palms together at the center of your chest. Lift your chest a little, take your chin gently towards your chest, give yourself a soft smile. And when you're ready, raising your head and opening your eyes. Great. Lots of people like to center before they start moving, and that suits you. If that suits you, keep with it. But for me, I like to move a little first because it helps me to get more physical awareness of what's going on in my body and a greater connection to my energy. But it's horses for courses. So I'm going to do one round of sun salutations, really focusing on not necessarily coordinating the breath with the movement, but taking each posture and making it its own warm-up. So coming to the front of your mat, And with your feet a comfortable distance for you, there's no correct alignment here as long as it feels good in your body, feels like a stable base. We can start with standing tall, having that sensation of gentle engaging through the belly muscles and the pelvic floor. And then here, breathing in, taking the arms around the body and up. You don't have to take the hands together if it suits the shoulders for the arms to be wider. And breathing out, palms together at the center of the chest. Breathing in, taking the arms up again. And then here, using this upward lifting motion to just wriggle through the sides of the body. So lifting one arm to stretch that side of the body, and then the other, the shoulders moving up and down, the upper back and the chest involved. You can even look up if it feels good for your neck. You don't have to, you can keep it more neutral. And then when you're ready, folding forward from your hips, softening your knees on the way down as needed to come into a forward bend. So first forward bend of the day. I would definitely keep my knees soft, even though I'm quite capable of touching my toes and resting my palms flat on the floor with my body cold. But it is kinder to the body to start this way. It's kinder to your muscles, and the older you get, the more important that is. So in your forward bend, you're just hanging here. I'm padding through the back to the leg, so extending one leg and then the other, giving a little wiggle here, trying to relax the back of the neck and the shoulders, but still keeping that gentle lift in the belly muscles and perhaps a little in the pelvic floor. When you're ready, you can hold elbow to elbow and try and keep your hips centered and just give your upper body a little sway. If this doesn't suit your low back, you don't need to do that. Simply hold in the posture and breathe deeply. When you're ready, coming back to the center, just giving the head a little nod and a little shake. That traction on the neck's really lovely. And then from here, stepping the right foot back as far as it naturally goes and taking your right knee down. So we don't need to do our biggest lunge because it's our first lunge of the day. And we're actually going to keep this quite dynamic by moving the hips back towards the right heel and then forward towards the left knee. So here, just moving backwards and forwards. And if you like to cushion your knee against the floor, you can use a little something to pad underneath it. I injured my knee a few weeks ago, so it's feeling a bit sensitive. The other thing you can do is tuck the back toes flat. That makes it a little easier on the knee that's down on the ground. But either way is good, just moving backwards and forwards. If you find it hard to touch the floor in this position, use a couple of blocks or bricks, or you can do the whole thing with your body upright, where you just take a little distance from the floor to find that movement in the hips. And we're not looking to hang out in any particular place in the pose, just experience the difference of moving in this way. The next time your hips are back, you can give your hips a little wiggle from side to side, extending as much as you feel comfortable doing at the moment through this front leg. So you feel that stretch, that sense of length move around the back of the left thigh. When you're ready, coming forward, losing the block if you've got it, taking your hands into plank pose, taking your body into plank pose, hands in front, feet behind. And here again, you can use plank pose to do a little bit of preparation here for the core muscles. Try not to drop your head looking underneath the body. Try to look slightly ahead of your hands. Think about pressing the mat away from you, engaging through the legs, particularly the quadriceps. So you'll really want to engage the quadriceps, engage the buttocks, engage the belly muscles, press through the heels. You can play with your weight around on your hands and feet if that feels good. And when you're ready, knees down, roll the shoulder blades together, roll the inner elbows forward, bend the elbows slowly to bring your chin or forehead down to the floor with your chest. Here we're going to allow the shoulder blades to roll towards each other and the elbows to come close to the body, firm in the belly, press into the tops of the feet as well, and come into a low cobra. And we're going to go up and down. So here we're preparing the body with that movement like we did in the lunge, coming up and releasing down. We're trying to keep activity in the upper back. Lovely job. Just a few of these. And then here you can come through hands and knees if you like to do a little child's pose, a little flirtation with child's pose with the hips to the heels, if that suits you, into downward dog, or you could come all the way into downward dog. It doesn't really matter. Because this is your practice, your warm-up, you can find your way. In your down dog, doing a little maybe turn of the head from side to side, letting the shoulders gently undulate as long as it feels okay and supported by the core. Lifting in the tailbone, lifting in the belly muscles, easing one heel down and then the other. There's no need to hold your down dog with straight legs and heels on the floor. You can keep your knees nice and bent, lift your hips high, and focus on extending through the back of the body, the spine. Lovely job. From here, stepping your right foot forward to your hands, left knee down, using a little cushion underneath the left knee or support underneath the left knee if you need. And then again, we're swinging the hips back and forwards. We're just beginning to find our way. So this is the opposite side now. It might feel differently from the first side. Make any adjustments you need to for your comfort. If you wish to do this higher up with the hands not on the floor, you can. Some people like to use their arms with a little bit of vigor here. I find that I'm not quite so balanced when I do that, and I like to get lower to the floor personally. Everybody does things their own way in yoga, that's absolutely fine. Next time your hips are back, just giving the hips a little wriggle from side to side. Finding that sensation of length moving around the back of the right thigh, particularly if the leg's extended. And then just freeing your left knee from the mat. We're going to find a little buoyancy across the feet. So playing with the weight so we can lightly step the left foot forward to the hands. Find that forward bend, relax the back of the neck. And then to come up, look forward. Lift the arms out to the side, drop the bottom, and press through the legs to come up to standing. Finish with the palms together at the center of the chest. Same thing on the other side, give or take. Standing tall in Tadasana. Taking a deep breath in as you move the arms around the body and up. Deep breath out, palms together, center of the chest. Deep breath in to open the body and lift, and then here again, lengthening one arm up and then the other, allowing your breath to find its natural rhythm. Playing with the position of your neck, finding something that works for you, that allows the shoulders and the neck to interact in a way that feels good. And then folding forward from the hips, softening the knees and coming into a forward bend, and just taking some time wiggling or shaking or jiggling or simply holding in stillness if you like. Taking a deep breath in, sigh gently out through the mouth. From here, stepping the left foot back, the knee can come to the mat as you look forward. And here we're going to do something slightly different. So if you really enjoy swinging your hips backwards and forwards, you could do that again. Or you can extend through the left leg, so you give yourself a little buoyancy and you can take your hands off the floor if you like, or use blocks to come up a little, and then gently lower the left knee down. So by doing it nice and slowly, extending and lowering, we do it 3 times, extending and lowering. We just get a little bit more activation on that thigh muscle at the back. Coming into plank pose, just taking your block to one side if you don't need it anymore. And in plank pose, you can do anything that feels good. So you can play with lowering the hips and lifting the hips, doing this with great control without moving the shoulders or the heels, which is really good to begin to exhibit a little bit of control across your core. And then exhaling, knees, chest, forehead, or chin to the floor. That same gentle set of cobras, rolling the shoulder blades together, extending through the back of the neck, lifting to wherever feels good, and then softening down. Firm in the belly and the buttocks as you lift. and lower. Using the muscles of the upper back to create that lift. The lower back's really passive here. And then whenever you're ready, coming into downward facing dog, you can move through a little flirtation with child's pose and hands and knees if you like. Do anything that feels good with your dog. Because we're just doing one round, we're not going to do anything else fancy. Just a little walking dog, maybe a little turning of the head and shoulders. In your own time, stepping the left foot forward to the hands, lowering the right knee down, and then doing 3 times, extending through the right leg and lowering the right knee gently down to the mat. We don't really want to clunk it into the floor, extending through the right leg and lowering the knee gently down. One more time, extending and lowering. And then we're going to just take our weight off that right knee. Move the weight from front foot to back foot so you can lightly step the right foot forward. Find your forward bend. Maybe hold elbow to elbow and do a little swaying. When you're ready to come up, looking forward, reaching the arms out so you flatten the back first, then bend the knees, press into the feet. Use the legs to stand tall and finish with your hands together at the center of your chest. And that is a great little warm-up, really quick, but you will feel fantastic in your body. You'll have used most of the muscle groups, most movements, and be ready for a fuller practice or just the rest of your day. I hope you've enjoyed it. Do join again soon. Namaste.